Man like Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. confirms he's set to face Chris Arreola in his comeback fight. Both Mexican fighters, you know what they're trying to do. I get what they're trying to do. Andy Ruiz needs a comeback fight. They want him to fight someone that they can pass on, say they've got this domestic Mexican clash between Andy Ruiz and versus Chris Arreola, when we know full well this is an over the hill Chris Arreola. You guys know it, I know it. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, share this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, smash the like button. Drop your comments again. Are you guys interested in seeing Andy Ruiz Jr. fighting over the hill Chris Arreola in a fight that we all know Andy Ruiz is going to win, unless Chris Arreola is able to hatch out a big right hand out of the box, where we also know Andy Ruiz got a hard chin and we know Chris Arreola ain't got a shot in hell of beating Andy Ruiz. So let's jump into it, man. Andy Ruiz, as I said, taking on Chris Arreola. He hasn't fought since his loss to Anthony Joshua in the rematch. If you go online, there's footage of Andy Ruiz, hitting the bag like he's hitting here, it looking in tremendous. I've never seen Andy Ruiz look in the kind of condition that he's looking in now. It's nuts. You man need to go online and check out the condition of Andy Ruiz. Have you seen his quads, man? Andy Ruiz has got his quad. He's got the quads are coming out now. Man like Andy Ruiz's quads are now coming out. He's lost weight. His chin. He's just lost weight in general. He looks like when he was moving about in the gym, he looks a bit more quicker to me. So everything's going in the right direction. And I said in my previous videos that Andy Ruiz now jumping into the same camp with Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia. It's the motivation he needs. He got that check from beating Anthony Joshua the first time. If you look at Canelo, it's not just about the first check, the biggest payday. There's more paydays, bruv. Big fights. There's loads of fighters out there for Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury's out there. You could have an AJ trilogy, Deontay Wilder, Dillian White. Even a Spanish-speaking clash with Luis Ortiz. Get them Cuban fans on board. Get the Mexican fans on board. There's fights out there for Andy Ruiz to get big paydays, man. So being in there with Canelo Alvarez is the motivation Andy Ruiz needs. Moving forward, and it seems to be working in terms of his physical regimen, looking much better in shape, much better condition. Andy Ruiz is definitely in much better condition than we've seen him in a long time. Let's check him out. Man like Andy, big shots, man's in shape. What hand speed and that? Let's go. Listen, it's this guy don't look like someone that's back in condition, bro. The Andy Ruiz, that fought Anthony Joshua in that rematch, where he looked like he was over the hill, eating too much beef burgers, eating them chips, it looked like he literally took a pizza, a whole pizza into the ring with him, man. Man was out of shape. Andy Ruiz is back in condition. He's looking. Hopefully we can see what he's capable of dispatching of Chris Arreola in spectacular fashion. And then there's big fights ahead for Andy Ruiz. Deontay Wilder. I so want Andy Ruiz to fight Deontay Wilder. To get the Mexican fan base, in a domestic, United States showdown against, the former WBC champion. That's a massive fight, man. They will market that fight. Andy Ruiz versus Deontay. Let's have it, man. Outside, of Tyson Fury, AJ, and maybe Dillian White, the biggest fight out there, in my opinion, maybe even outside of the champions, is Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. Ruiz lost to AJ. Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury. Let's get it on. Let's have it. Let's see what happens, man. Because that fight will be spectacular. Because for me, I don't really care about Chris Arreola. This fight is a ticking over fight for Andy Ruiz to get the feel of just being in the ring and just competing. Then we can get the big names in, because the speculation he could fight Deontay. There was even speculation he was going to fight Luis Ortiz. Like I said, because I still wanted that Luis Ortiz would be a good, interesting fight. Maybe he could fight Luis Ortiz then fight Deontay, or maybe just jump in with Deontay Wilder. But it's going to be interesting, man. Stylistically, with Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder, you would favor Deontay Wilder. Stylistically, he's taller, he's rangier, he's unorthodox. Andy Ruiz, the previous Andy Ruiz seen, he's never had the greatest head movement. You would think that it's an open target for Deontay Wilder to land that big, explosive, devastating right hand. But Everybody thought that AJ would beat Andy Ruiz, and ruled him out. If this guy can get close enough to Deontay Wilder, explode out of clinches, open up big shots, Deontay Wilder could be rocked and stopped. We never know what can happen, man. Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is getting older. Luis Ortiz's last fight was against some cream puff that got stopped, but within like one round, a couple seconds. Most people would favor Andy Ruiz because of his age and the hand speed, and Luis Ortiz's movement is not the greatest ever. So most people favor Andy Ruiz to beat Luis Ortiz. But it's interesting just to see Andy Ruiz. Obviously, he's in gym, back in shape. Clearly, most people say, "Oh, we haven't seen Andy Ruiz in the ring yet." Does this man not look? Let's run the video, man. Where's the video? Where we going? Run the video, bro. Let's play it. Let's see if we can play it again. Stop opening other tabs, man. It's not gonna play. Forget it. We watched it already, man. So we've seen how Andy Ruiz is in shape. We've seen the condition that he's in. Tremendous, improvement in his physicality, in his training. Hats off to also his trainer. Like I said, training Canelo Alvarez and Andy Ruiz. That guy is so underrated. He's got 3 top tier fighters now. He's training now, and hopefully we can see some great performances coming from Andy Ruiz and from Canelo as well. Hopefully get Billy Joe Saunders and also Ryan Garcia, taking on Tank or whoever is going to take on. So drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about what I've said? What do you think about Andy Ruiz taking on Chris Arreola, taking over fight, should beat him, then potentially setting up fights, maybe Luis Ortiz or Deontay Wilder? Let's see what happens, man. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys are saying about this topic. Cool.